Hey, I'm giving you guys a heads up. We talk about a lot of graphic adult content in this video. If that's not your thing, that's cool. But I'd skip this one.
Whoa, holy crap.
Hello, welcome to. Is this the fourth episode? No, third,
This
because
is,
it's
it's March, yeah.
yeah, the third episode of the Power Punch Productions book club. I'm Ryan. With me is Kaden and our good friend Chris.
Hello.
This
Well,
month, I have another apology to make. This time, though, not because the book was boring, but maybe the book was a little too much. Too much excitement. We read Chuck's Dinosaur Tinglers Volume 1, and man, I did not know it was just going to be actual porn.
And it's also like, that's not even necessarily a problem for me. The
Oh,
problem I
no,
have
me
with
either.
it is like, it felt, you know how what a black exploitation film is, right?
Yeah,
hmm
Like, that's a general thing for the audience. Like, it felt like a version of that, but for homosexual erotica.
gay
hmm
exploitation.
Yeah. Because, like, I don't think it was malicious, but a lot of the times it definitely felt like disingenuous to like LGBT representation of a homosexual relationship. Especially as one reasons we'll get to later, it almost treats it as not only exploitive but taboo.
Yeah, yeah. Um,
it's I'll say it like this. And I think actually the first book we read kind of talked about like the gay porn that is like clearly like probably not a lot of gay people actually enjoy it, where it feels like for a straight eye.
yeah.
That's kind of like what you're saying, and I get that. I get that feeling. But it's hard to say too because this is just like everything Chuck Tingle has ever done. Like that's
I
everything.
it's also like I've never read another Chick Tingle work, so it's like I don't have that basis to kind of go off on.
Yeah, let me see if I can. Yeah, I'm looking on Amazon right now and I'm trying to find the first things he ever put out.
I definitely know that his artwork all looks like it's like the I mean, I guess it's as a parody of trashy erotica, it is perfect.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I expected it to be. I expected
hmm
it to be the stuff that like middle-aged women. I think I described to Christy the stuff middle-aged women read before deciding to get a divorce.
I I think that's interesting that you said that, by the way, because have you ever read something like 50 Shades?
I'm gonna go out myself. I love trashy erotica. Not
hmm
like I think it's fun. Like I fucking love reading it for fun. Because it's just the most like insane drivel you'll ever read. It's so epic.
Yes. I'm in the same boat. I did in fact read stuff like 50 Shades of Grey for fun. And like, I don't know, I get what you mean, like the stuff that middle-aged women read is pretty intense. It's kind of scary sometimes,
I didn't know
actually.
that.
I remember you could probably still do it because these types of novels are still pretty popular. You could go to like a Target right now and just look at the covers in the book section and just pick one off the shelf, flick to a random page, and you'll get an eyeful just right there in the middle of Target.
Oh my god, what have I
Out
done?
here with your hardcore bondage erotica uh tags with like several band tags in the middle of Target on a Tuesday. Ah ha
Yeah,
ha.
yeah, and they need to like shrink wrap those bitches or something because like I was a
Yet
teenager
yet
doing
you
this.
can go and buy this at your local Target, but I'm the weird one for carrying around my Kiss X Sis limited edition hardback manga. I these double standards will never end.
I'm no kidding. It's such a hard life you live.
I really am an icon living. But back on the point.
Yeah, that's what I expected it to be. I thought it was gonna be like not necessarily tame, but like laughable, and then
Yeah, surprisingly genuine in a way. I didn't
Hmm.
expect it to be
it's not
almost genuine.
poorly written.
No, that's the
Yes.
thing. It's like also I as I do most of these books, I had it in audiobook format. And hearing a man talk about sexy dinosaur abs of his
So
millionaire ex-football player
no,
was
they were betting on the Super Bowl. That's how they
ah
got their
yes, yes, yes,
money.
yes. Super Bowl betting, pardon me.
Yeah. Uh,
Ex-dinosaur pet who became like a millionaire and was like, let's have gay sex now was
I was
an
listen
experience.
I was listening to that one on my way to work, and there was a panhandler at the corner where I was turning at, and I went and gave him some cash, and I considered I paused it, but I considered just letting it play and just to see what would happen, but I did not. But
And I do have to admit, I I'm gonna tell this story. I had a rough morning today, like a pretty rough one. Just imagine like I'm not saying this happened. I'm just saying hypothetically. Hypothetically, you just had a mental breakdown in the shower,
mm-hmm.
and then not even an hour later, you get to read the line contract to run a T-Rex gangbang train on Donnie Sullivan's gay human ass for the sum of $10 million
That
even.
was that unironically was the best line in the entire book. Holy shit, like
Yeah,
the dinosaur law firm one was fucking that one was unironically funny. The other two are the first one I think was real rough. The second one, or that was the second one. The third one was the space one I thought was interesting. Like it's a pretty cool setting, which will get to the actual contents of the book in a minute here.
Yeah.
yeah,
I turned my day around. Mental breakdown who? I felt great after reading that.
It was also, I think that was also the tamest. Like they build it up like, oh, it's a den of depraved T-Rex billionaire suits. And it was like, they just fucked up. That's it.
Yeah.
Nothing
yeah.
crazy.
They just kind of screwed a little bit.
But
A little bit.
go ahead.
I was just saying it was a lot more than a little bit.
But yeah, I guess I will use that as a segue into the structure of the book because it's basically three short stories.
Yeah, it's like an anthology book, if you will.
Yeah. And the
So,
first one is a average Joe reconnecting with his previous dinosaur pet.
so the I what's the morality here? Because we clearly see that dinosaurs have sentience and like free
Well,
will.
they can be lawyers, but they
They
can
can
also be pets.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And the other question I have is they talk about this dinosaur, the Triceratops, being significantly older than our protagonist in this one. So like how old was he when he was when the Triceratops was the pet?
Yeah,
I don't know.
well, then do like, is it like a vampire kind of thing where like dinosaurs are just like are older, just they mature differently, so they get to be older all the time? I
But
don't
it's
know.
like, well, the thing is, based on what we have, dinosaurs do pass the hardness test. So they are every form of the word, both
Oh,
sentient and have enough. What's the fucking word I'm looking for? They are 100% they can give consent and receive it.
that's
Which
not.
also, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say like that. That's fine. My
No, no,
question
no.
is, what's the
I'm
morality of?
segueing. Don't worry, I'm segueing into it.
Okay.
So we know that they can give consent and they have rights. So how do they want to be pets? If they are sentient and can give
Yeah.
consent, being a slave or a pet, which is effectively the same thing in this context, you take away that aspect. So like there is some ethical questions we need answered,
Yeah,
Mr. Tinkle.
So I will say, like I'm thinking about it now, I'm like, oh, it's a domination loss thing. Like he used to be the owner and now he's getting railed. That's why that's there. I
That's
understand now.
the
That's why
fetish.
it
Yes.
exists. But also, it's a problem. It's a big problem that it's in here because the other dinosaurs are lawyers and astronauts. So I don't think it looks great, you know? It's a
Yeah, I'm
problem.
Hmm.
not sure how I feel about that one. I also so that one was a Triceratops, and as the resident dinosaur guy of Power Punch Productions, he described the Triceratops as having a claw, sharp teeth, and when they go to this expensive restaurant, the Triceratops orders a steak, even though Triceratops have beaks and are plant eaters. Like that was kind of like poor writing, I think, on the part
Yeah.
of Mr. Tingle.
Clearly,
God damn
Mr.
it,
Tingle
Chuck.
did not do his research,
Well,
and
Like later they talk about the T Rexes having scales, and we know now that like T Rexes had feathers.
but also, when was this book
Yeah,
written?
that's
That
what I
may
was
have
gonna
been
say.
I
okay, okay,
think
gotcha, gotcha.
I think I just saw it 2015.
Yeah,
2015.
Early 2015.
so this could have been written like before we knew about that. So that I'll let slide. But like, come on, man. The Triceratops wouldn't have ordered a steak.
So, and also kind of in the same vein of what you're saying, but you actually know things. I sent you my questions before, Ryan, but I'll ask it now, just in general. So, like, how am I supposed to imagine these dinosaurs? Because the cover is a green man with a dinosaur head, but then sometimes he would kind of describe them more like they were actual dinosaurs. But dinosaurs are pretty big, and they just go to restaurants and stuff like it's normal. And there's no implication that the restaurants are like bigger or
Dinosaur
chairs are
sized.
bigger. Yeah, like there's no I'm not quite sure what I'm supposed to imagine.
Yeah, because like with the T Rex was like the biggest land predator to have ever lived. That's not just gonna fit inside a regular old elevator unless it's
A special elevator.
an elevator like the size of a house.
Also, like the weight class you would have, that would have to be effectively be like an industrial elevator for just and to
And
fit
like,
more than one would be it just simply the logistics of fitting more than one dinosaur on an elevator is
yeah,
And like and now I'm looking at these covers. So the Dinosaur Tinglers Volume 1 has a green man with a dinosaur head. So that would imply to me that these are like humanoids, but like with dinosaur features.
yeah,
But then in the separate Kindle edition for My Billionaire Triceratops Craves Gay Ass, there is an attractive young man with a triceratops, I assume, in the background. Like just a straight up triceratops.
they also
mm,
So
talk about the T Rex lawyers having tiny arms.
what?
So like, you remember that part when they
Yeah,
talk
I
about.
yeah.
do.
So like, is it proportional to like a human, or is it proportional to a T Rex?
It
Or did you
was
just want to make a joke about T Rex arms?
in
I
my
mean,
head, I definitely viewed them as like the scaly furry community interpretation of said animals.
Yeah,
Because that at least
okay.
with the descriptions that's what made sense to me. So it was definitely like proportional humanoid-ish body with dinosaur head and tiny ass arms.
that would explain why like they had penises and stuff. Because like, if we're
Also,
talking about just straight up dinosaurs, that would make even less sense.
did dinosaurs
Yeah.
have what we would consider to be like a phallus?
No, because they're like birds.
Yeah, okay, that's what I was interesting.
Well,
And that's what I was blah, blah, blah. That's what I was interested in from go following up to that question. So like the entire premise of this book is now just
Yeah, kind of thrown out the
yeah,
I
yeah.
now that I'm like thinking about it more, I feel like I'm forced to assume that it's Chuck Tingle also. So this is just like the porn parody dinosaur where it's just a guy, he might have some green body paint and like those silly plush dinosaur head
yeah,
masks. I'm forced to visualize that now. I feel like it loses some of its luster because I have to imagine it like that. Um,
yeah. I don't
oh,
know.
I have a great question. I feel like I need answers. Um, all of these dinosaurs were tops, and I feel like that is unrealistic, or it's a comment on how rare tops are. I'd like to hear your thoughts on that one.
I
I mean,
I wouldn't know.
I guess I just know a lot of tops because I don't feel like they're that rare.
I have never met a top in my life.
Really?
No.
I'm sorry.
Are you talking about like gay exclusively?
Just, I mean, generally also, but in this case, yeah, gay.
I know a
I
Uh,
feel
One of my coworkers is he is a gay man. I love him to death. He's very funny. I like to give him shit. Like I call him a bottom, and he like genuinely gets offended.
acceptance to
Yeah,
it.
my friend does that too.
Okay, so it could just be me then, which is
Mayhaps
fair.
your corner of the world is known for its gay bottoms, perhaps.
I just
Just
don't
in
talk to
Missouri.
people. I think
Hey
is more the it's just
man,
absurd. That's the Midwest, actually.
that's
It's
yeah.
just the entire Midwest.
The entire Midwest bottoms confirmed.
Yes.
Where I actually had something to follow up on that. I just forgot after that. Oh Lord. No, we'll look what this has devolved into.
We'll circle back, Kaden. I'll
Yeah,
give you
we'll
Yeah.
some
find it
time.
again. Don't worry.
Wanna go into the next story then? The since we kind of brought up the dinosaurs or the
Yeah,
T-Rexes.
yeah. So the next one was this dude secures a job at a law firm that's run by mostly T Rexes, and then his first day at work, they give him a bunch of paperwork to sort, and he passes out, and then his boss wakes him up, and he's like, "Here's a contract. Tell me how much money you want, and me and a bunch of T Rexes are gonna bang you." And he says jokingly $10 million and signs the contract, and then they bang him, and then it ends.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, this one was definitely the most direct and to the point. It had some absolute banger lines.
Yeah,
I
like the one
think
Christy read earlier.
yeah, I think this one like felt like it was a little bit better at embracing the porn parody kind of feel to it.
Because this was literally just straight up a rich guys pay 20 lads to run a train on him.
Do you think he could have asked for more money?
Oh,
I think
100%.
so.
The implication was that he was like just kind of doing it, haha, but
Yeah,
like a part of him secretly wanted it. That's why he kind of lowballed.
that's something else I noticed in a lot of these is they were all like, "I'm not gay, but what if I was? Ah ha ha," and that
Definitely
always felt kind of weird.
serves into a point I'm going to bring up in our closing thoughts on how I feel like they feel, whether he meant it or not, definitely felt very like exploitative.
Yeah. Um. My big issue is that these all were kind of just like, there's a setup that was actually sort of interesting, and then they bang, and then it's over.
Hmm.
And I think this one was like the most like that, probably. I don't know.
Which is also like to the point of the book. Not necessarily a bad thing if the point is to get to dinosaur banging. Like it literally just like opens up. It's like, oh, here's the setup. You're in now.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I think there was the least questionable material in the lawyer one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because like you could make the argument it's an abuse of power. Because not only did they haze him by giving him too much paperwork, they also kind of were in a. Well, I mean, they definitely were in a position of power
But he signed the
over.
contract, Caden. I
But
don't see
that's
what the
yeah.
again, it's
problem
also
is.
like he consented to it.
I don't
But
see what the
you could
problem
also
is.
argue that since it was his boss providing the contract, it's like, well, you can't say no because then you'd lose your this job you've been trying really hard to get.
Yeah, I mean he signed the contract, Caden. I don't see what the problem is.
I think there was also like this is also something I didn't really get until I was looking through stuff to prepare for this. There's also like there's definitely like a fetish aspect, a fetishy aspect of like it is the emasculate male. He was like into yoga, this and that, with a in a office of historically alpha and aggressive predator alpha types,
Yeah,
which definitely like leans credence to. I don't obviously I don't think it's meant to. Well, I don't even know if it is or isn't meant to like kind of lean into the real world version of those fetishes, but It's like if a small white man joined a historically black lawyer firm because he was like, ooh, big, large alpha men.
Oh yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah,
Because this is,
that
yeah,
I
that's
kind of get that as well.
I didn't get it at first, but I was talking to a friend of mine who is a person of color specifically about the fetishization of black men, and then things started to click from there.
Yeah, since you pointed out that, I could see that.
Yeah.
Obviously, I don't know if I'm reaching and just putting some parallels there, but that's 100% how it read to me.
No, I think the way, like, if you just changed the word dinosaur around, like if you change some details around here and there, I think you'd be right.
Hmm. But yeah, so this one, it's like, again, this will tie into my closing thoughts about it, but yeah, it was two for two. You're not looking too good, Mr. Tingle.
What about you, Chris? Chris, do you have anything? Any?
Hmm. About just the second one, no. Um, I just have final thought. I mean, the space one. The only question I had about the space one, Earth 2?
Earth two? Yeah.
Earth 2?
So
Like,
like,
why?
are there humans on Earth too? Is
Apparently not.
is this a prequel to like is the space one a prequel to all the other ones? Is that how the human dinosaur people like exchange happens? If so, why
Oh,
is the Triceratops a pet again? I feel like I need to like bring that up again. Well, that makes it even,
it's
Caden. What you said, your comparison, like even more questionable because if
Yeah,
you are right
yeah.
in the,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
it
It
just
gets
makes it
worse.
worse.
Yeah.
I don't know about this one.
I don't know. I will say, um, it's so hard to see what is like in regards to stuff like that, like what is a genuine, how to say this? Like what is like genuinely racist and what is someone just regurgitating stuff that they've seen before
Yeah,
without thinking about it.
or
especially as a parody of
Yeah.
erotica. Like those are very common concepts and themes in erotica.
Yes. I guess that would be like my only thoughts about it. Like, well, not my only thoughts, but like how I feel conflicted about it. And like now I'm looking at the Wikipedia of Chuck Tingle and I'm less, I don't know, I'm kind of frowning a lot more now.
mm,
I
Like
didn't realize he had a Wikipedia.
here, let me read this paragraph to you and we'll talk about it. In 2016, a person presenting as Tingle's son, John, stated in a Reddit Ask Me Anything session that Tingle is an autistic savant. John also said that his father has schizophrenia, but Tingle has stated this is not true on multiple occasions. John stated that he edits his father's works for publication and provides day-to-day care for him. Tingle's Facebook account and website confirm that John is his son and that Tingle has Asperger's. Tingle has said that his wife drowned in an automobile accident, but John stated that his parents are divorced and the woman who died was Tingle's caregiver. Tingle has a distinctive style of conversation, such as consistently referring to John as son name of John and his fans as buckaroos and ladybucks, but this does not carry over to his published fiction. Tingle claims this is for privacy reasons.
hmm.
There
Yeah.
is a lot to unpack there.
That
Yes.
you said a lot of stuff, and I'm not sure how to process any of it.
Yeah. It's I kind of assumed before that like, of course Chuck Tingle is a pseudonym and that this was pretty tongue in cheek, I guess. Like someone that definitely knows what they're doing. I'm a little more iffy on that now, I guess is the way I'll
Yeah.
say that.
Apparently, he has a PhD from a correspondence college, looking more up into him.
Well, here. The previous paragraph from what I just read. Tingle presents himself as a Taekwondo grandmaster from Billings, Montana, who acquired a PhD in holistic massage at DeVry
Mm.
University, which does not offer such a degree.
Hmm.
So it's like, okay, I'm with it now. So clearly a lot of this is built to be an online, or to be a face, a persona,
Yes, which is fine.
which is yeah, no, fair.
You can make silly stories about yourself when you're using a pseudonym. That's cool. But I don't know. Stuff with
Yeah.
a sun is a little bit weird to me. I'm not
There's
very happy with that.
yeah, it's sometimes perhaps it's a lot. It's good to not look into the author.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know.
Separate the art from the
I
artist, you
wouldn't go
know?
that far.
You really just need to like ignore any bad things he's done, Kaden. I mean, he's an artist. He's gonna be a bit
Yeah.
eccentric.
I might also want to put a content warning on this one. From
Yeah, I'll figure
Yeah.
something out. Warning: we
but
talk
to
about
what?
porn.
We talk about morally questionable gay porn. But to kind of get back on the track of things, I think the setup for the third one I think was actually pretty interesting because like space madness is such a cool fucking concept.
Yeah,
And then
I,
this was also the straight turn gay fetish too, just to kind of get that out in the open,
yeah.
which is I think is a another kind of like the racial fetish. It's definitely like I think a
Mm-hmm.
lot more harmful. So while it was an interesting setup, I think it definitely lost a lot of points as soon as it got into the key aspects of why we're all here.
Yeah.
If anyone would like to
Well,
follow up
and
on their
even
thoughts.
even the first one was not completely the same, but it was close. The first one was like, "Oh, I want to bang my dinosaur pet, but it's wrong and I shouldn't." And
Not the
like
Jedi way.
it's like that was it's not exactly the same. This last one was more extreme,
Yeah.
but there was like elements of that in the first one as well.
And it definitely I remember like obviously I had the audiobook so I
Well,
can't
no,
pull up
even in the second one as
yeah.
well.
It's in
yeah,
all
there
of
was
them.
Yeah, it
yeah.
was all like that.
But definitely I remember some lines specifically of the like, well, it's not gay if I
Yeah,
fuck you because I'm the top. Like it's only gay if I'm the bottom.
it's not gay because you're a dinosaur.
That's I was about to bring up, I had it written down too. Like one of the lines, I think it's in the second one where he's like, I'm not gay, but I could be gay for dinosaurs. And I'm like, okay, so is there like a difference? Like
Are
what
they not are they not considered to be like people?
or like are you making a distinction between like the dinosaurs kind of gender versus humans gender, which I don't really think you can make that argument,
No.
but
And
like
also this also
why?
makes me think of something from the first book we read, in which like they talked about how people would have immigrants and people of or people would have sex with the immigrants in the saloon houses and stuff because it's it's not gay, it's their minority.
Right.
So I think it does harken back to that as well, which is again to my the point I was making has not done
No.
anything to make me feel better about that.
No, not really. Not at all, actually. Yeah,
So it's yeah, this one
this
was
one was
definitely
an
like
L.
I'm glad we read it so we have a chance to talk about it, but I don't think I will ever be reading another Tingler or Chuck book again.
No.
No. And I've read some pretty questionable stuff.
Oh,
Oh,
same.
we know, Christy.
Yeah, you want to hear about it?
We can tell. No, you don't have to tell us. We can tell.
No,
I'm
I'll
gonna have
just
to
tell
make
you. I'll
Ryan
just
edit
tell you.
more.
I'll just tell you the title, and
Sure.
you can take your brain wherever you want with it. It was called Wet for Nessie.
That doesn't sound like it's too bad.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. I'll tell you about it when we're not recording.
Oh boy, that's
Oh
going in
boy.
the Patreon only video.
Yeah, only
But
$1 a month. Don't forget to
yeah,
subscribe. Sometimes we
yeah,
upload stuff. Not often.
maybe. We're getting
Maybe.
there. We're working on it. But I think we kind of have we've pretty much cleared the three if we just want to kind of go straight into our
Yeah.
final thoughts.
Um, I think I've shared pretty much everything I have to say about it.
Yeah. I don't think I have much else to add at this point.
Yeah.
I will say, um, by comparison, the first two books look really great now.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
they're like 10 out of 5 stars. You I'll say that.
It's amazing how much a really bad book can do to make you really
Oh yeah.
appreciate a very mid book.
And it's also like the first two weren't even like that bad to begin with. It's
Just
just
a
like,
little
man,
dense.
I wish I
Or we
was
had
reading
issue.
that instead of
Yeah.
this.
And
This,
it's
yeah, and this was only like 30 pages, and the other two were like 200 pages plus each. I
mm,
would have rather, yeah, yeah,
Sat through one more like paper.
yeah.
I but to kind of just sum up my thoughts because I think I have a bit of a uniquer perspective on this. It's like it definitely felt like the crux of the fetish and the fetishization of LGBT relationships, specifically gay in this case, felt like it was supposed to be seen as wrong, which is unbelievably hurtful to a lot of LGBT things. It's
Yeah,
like it was the point was like, oh, it's taboo. Oh, these people are having sex. Not only were they cross-racial in the algo or no, the allegory of dinosaur and human, but they were also gay.
that's just
Like, no,
awful.
you can't do that. That's bad. And
There's even
why
a
does it feel good if it's bad?
there's even a line in the first one where he talks about his mother and how she would be upset if she found out he was banging a dinosaur.
No, even before then, literally they were like, "Oh, just like having dinner together. My mom would be so upset I saw you again."
Yeah, you.
So I
And that
rate this
is,
book a very harmful out of 10.
it's and that like again, I'm with you. It's also just kind of like the bigger conversation of like who is gay porn made for?
Mhm.
Because
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's the same question you could ask for a lot of even fetish content that you can find. Like who is really watching this and why are they watching it and why is it
Which
titillating?
is something I would love to study if I had the time and the research or the data. I think that would be incredibly interesting
Yeah.
because I don't have it. I don't know who this is for.
Yeah,
I honestly don't.
that's actually what I asked Christy when we were talking about it before we started recording. I just want to know who this was made for. Like,
Do you do you want my genuine answer?
Would love your genuine answer, Chris.
My genuine answer is this is for the meme. Like,
Oh,
oh
this
yeah,
see,
specifically.
yeah,
yeah, like no, like all of it. Like
Oh,
it's the meme. They don't even like for what it is, well, like decently crafted actual porn. That's not who it's even for. It is 100% joke.
hmm.
oh yeah. Like, I think. Well, do you mean in general, or do you mean Chuck's Dinosaur Tinglers Volume One?
Like Chuck.
Yeah,
Chuck as a auteur.
I definitely think that's correct. But
And I mean, if we want to ask who's reading it, let's find out.
us,
So customer reviews, 4.5 out of 5 global. Um, 1 star could not even get the description of species correct. 5 stars, great for
Yeah, is
church.
that you?
yeah, it might have been me.
Someone said 5 stars. Yes, would recommend to a friend. 2 stars. So getting the collection is a waste of time and money. There's not really any reason to read more than one of Chuck Tingle's dinosaur stories because they're all exactly the same.
Yeah, that's right.
It's a setup to establish character and their aversion to the homosexual, introduction of gay lover, and then they fuck. Ever
Yeah.
makes every
The
book.
end.
Yeah. And yeah, I feel like I'm confirmed here because the positive reviews here are all jokes, and the negative reviews here, except for that 2-star one I just read,
Mhm.
are also jokes. Like this 2 stars. Poor editing greatly interferes with the quality of the story. Like, yeah, you're reading this for the quality of the writing. Let's see. 5 stars. Bought as a joke Christmas present had the desired effect. Like,
Like no, no one's reading this because they really want to get off to some good old dinosaur on man action,
exactly. And like I
which
knew
is
that reading it.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like but at the same time, it's like even for writing as a joke, it still perpetuates stereotypes that are
Yeah,
harmful.
that's kind of what I was thinking is like even as a joke it's still like I don't know if you should be writing this.
It's just a lame joke, I
Yeah,
would
Mhm.
say. Like thinking more and more about it.
it definitely feels like the haha you're gay middle school humor dialed up to like 11.
Yeah. I guess the Power Punch official take on Chuck's Dinosaur Tinglers Volume 1 is we rated an L.
An L.
Yep, this is an L.
Capital L.
Capital for sure.
Hmm.
Plus ratio.
Plus,
Leave this
okay,
one in the
yeah.
traps, bestie.
This one's an L plus ratio for sure.
Yeah,
To
for
Perhaps Mr.
real.
Tingle touch some grace.
get some maidens.
So neat.
L plus no wenches. Do we have any other thoughts, or do we just want to wrap it up here? I guess.
I think we pretty much covered everything. That
Yeah,
at
we
least I covered everything I had.
dinosaur
Yeah.
inconsistencies, kind of racist, kind of homophobic. Got it, got it.
Just morally questionable
Morally
all around.
questionable. Yeah,
Um, what how to say it, but like it's like when you find out Quentin Tarantino is like a weirdo, but you loved his movies before, but you have to like come to grips with the fact that he's a weirdo.
yeah,
It's
Hmm.
kind of the same thing. Like coming to grips with the fact that like an auteur is usually like a freaking weirdo.
Yeah. There's a reason that artists and madness, most artists are fucking nuts.
facts.
Yeah.
Preach, brother.
Mm.
All right.
Anyhow, I guess we'll end it here. You wanna shout anything out, Chris?
Uh, no.
Fair enough.
Not even
Ryan?
Chuck's Dinosaur Tinglers Volume 2?
Uh,
I
I'm
think
so
that one
good.
will be that will be left in the Amazon cart.
Okay, okay. That's left in the for next time section. Uh,
Save for later.
yeah, Kaden, if you want to go ahead and shout anything out, go for it, and then I'll go
Um,
last.
Keep your eyes tuned for my Twitter, PPP Caden. I am currently waiting on the global shortage of audio equipment to be over so I can buy stuff to use for my radio show I'll be doing. It's all the setups there. I'm ready for it. I just gotta fucking find a mic for sale. So,
Ah,
yeah.
That's tough.
I'm sorry in advance.
It's.
My Twitter is at RyRyinRed, and don't forget to pick up the book for next month, which is going to be Super Mega Saves the Troops by
Oh, that's
Matt
next month?
Watson and Ryan McGee. Yeah,
Let's go. I'm
and
excited for this one.
the next
Mm.
episode, Devin will be back, and we'll have Kyler as well,
As
because
a special guest.
yeah, that's the big one I think that most of us have been excited for.
Fair
Um,
warning. For this one's definitely getting a content warning. That one is also definitely
oh
getting a
yeah,
content warning.
but like the other one, like I've already skimmed some of the stuff, and so like it's different. I'll say that much.
Hmm.
But that one will be much
Is
more
it
fun.
though?
Well, yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
we at least know who's writing it, if that makes any sense. Like not personally,
It's like
we
it's
have a
you.
better
One knows what
understanding
to
of who's
expect. Yeah.
yeah. All right. I guess that's it. Bye-bye.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye.
Yo, my dad, he's not like the rest. He's kinda like a cute girl, just minus the breasts. He got a solid 4-inch dick, it's hanging and swaying. And when I get home from school, he's always laying there waiting for me to take off my shoes, my shirt and my pants. And then we go to my room and do a nice little dance. I call it sex with my dad, and don't get it wrong, I only fuck my own dad and never my mom. I'm saying